Welcome to Richard TV once again. My name is Sifi Edu, and I have this beautiful couple with me here. Please, can we know your name?
My name is Andrew Seidu Achana, and my wife is Miss.
Mrs. with Achana.
Mrs. Ruth Achana. That's a lovely name. Okay, so would you mind telling us what is the key to having a beautiful relationship?
Okay, so the key to having a good relationship, first of all, I would say is an understanding. Understanding because you see, there are two people coming from two different backgrounds, two different diverse ways of upbringing. And so when the both of you don't have an understanding to what you want to do, it will always bring conflict. But once you're able to create that understanding, then there will be that perfect relationship. On the second note, we also have to have what we have communication, because communication is key in every relationship. Why? Because if I am communicating and then you don't understand the message I'm channeling out to you, your response will be very different from what I'm expecting. But once my communication is very clear and it flows from me to you and you understand what I'm giving you, the receiving point will be very pleasant. Exactly.
Mrs. Achana, do you have anything to say?
No, I also say understanding and communication. Yeah, that's work for us, so that's it.
Mrs. Achana, tell me, what are some of the mistakes that you think some women make in terms of finding partners for themselves?
Oh, no, let him answer.
Obviously you can't answer for women because uh, there are lots of women that I assume that are looking for relationship that is long lasting, relationship that leads to marriage and leads to happy ending, happy ever after. But not many people get it. And so, what made you realize that Mr. Achana is the right person? That you think other women are not looking at it very well? Because obviously, you are not his first. So somebody came in, but they didn't realize how beautiful your husband is, and then left. Then you came in, you understood him. Now he's your husband. What mistakes, common mistake, can you think of that women often make when it comes to finding partners for a lifetime?
Okay, I would say physical appearance because most ladies look at the physical appearance and they just misjudge the person or what the person is currently having. Maybe whether a car, because some ladies really love cars and all that. So I would say physical appearance and assets. Yes, that's what most people mistakenly do.
Okay, physical appearance and assets. Ms. Achana, how would you know that somebody loves you?
Yeah, so love is something that I would define as, you see, a feeling and a mutual that has to do with a connection between two individual people. Mostly the way we, as young, before we were dating, as we were perceiving love to be, hasn't been the same as we are now. So for the first instance, you see those butterflies that you feel in your heart, that you makes you think that you really love the person, is just for the initial stages. But as you grow in the relationship, the love that you rather now grows and get is you being able to get a connection between the understanding of the person and an understanding of yourself, because love really grows, and at a point in time you might also realize that the love that you seem to find in the person is either dead. So if the understanding and then that mutual connection is not really there, you will not be able to find that need. And in that instance, you rather might think that the person doesn't really love you, because in most cases, in various relationships, what we normally do is that a woman will always want a man to pamper her, to take her to places, to buy a lot of gifts for her, and do a lot of her heart desire. But that is to her definition of love. But to the man, what a man terms as love is for you to give him that audience when he needs you. Give him that energy of respect that he needs. So when a man doesn't get the respect he needs, he doesn't call it love. But a woman rather wants the pampering to notify herself that my man loves me. So these are two diverse ways in which way love can be approached.
So, in your personal opinion, how will you also know that somebody really loves you? Because, like I said earlier on, you are not his face. Definitely, he isn't your face, also. So, how did you know that he's compatible, he fits all the right boxes, and then he checks all the right boxes, and then you gave him the opportunity? Because you really had to accept for him to become your husband. Otherwise, the marriage wouldn't take off. So, how did you realize that indeed he's the one for me?
Okay, first and foremost, he always talks about the future. Whenever he's talking about the future, I'm in it. And second, he was caring, loving, and the time we met, I was in school, and he always, yeah, I was in school, university. So what he does for me is he comes in to teach me where maybe my grades were falling. He comes in to rather encourage me, yeah, to learn more. But there are other guys who rather come and tell you, let's go out. They don't care about your grades. So I realized that he, due to this, yeah, he was rather thinking of me and also our future. Yes. So that was how I got to know that that's the best person for me to get married to. Yes.
Ms. Achana, I am very proud of you hearing what he did because
Yes.
we are in an era where we are looking for quick back. We are looking for quick excitement, quick feeling, and so on and so forth. So I'm wondering, Mrs. Root, what was the feeling like? Somebody coming to you and talking about the future that you are in it but you haven't seen. Did it really make sense for you when you started? And how was he able to convince you? Because I mean, when we sometimes we go to women and they will tell them about the future, and clearly they are not interested in the future. They want the now. They are looking to go out, have fun, enjoy life, and so on and so forth. So, what was it that he told you exactly that is going to happen for you in the future? I remember when I met my wife, I told her 3 weeks after I met my wife, I told her I asked her, "Do you know I'm going to marry you?" Was it something like this he said to you and you accepted or agreed?
Yeah, he said he wanted me to be the mother of his children. Yes. And first and foremost, like, he took me to his house to introduce me to his parents. And I realized that he was a serious person. Because most guys don't do that. They will not take you to their parents and introduce them to you. And when I went to their house, like, they were all welcoming and they were like, oh, okay, so this is so that's it. Yes, so they were all welcoming. Yeah, so I felt at home. Also, yeah. So I was also glad to be his wife.
So, to Mr. Achana, what would you say to your fellow men who are just moving from one relationship to another and don't look like they are interested in settling down now, or they are trying to settle down but they keep hitting the wall? I mean, they are not finding the right person. What message would you give to them?
Okay, so it's simple. You see, finding the right person and being in a marriageable relationship is very good. It's a blessed one. Because it's something that God's ordained. And again, marriage also keeps you away from, let me put it in a sinful act way. So, unlike the ways that you would have enjoyed sex out of marriage, where you feel guilty in terms of your prayer points, in terms of your righteousness with God, when you get married, all those things ceases. So, to my fellow men, what I can also say is that, you see, dating is good. But to be able to have the right decision to say, I want to marry, has to stand on maturity. And so it's something that you have to mature in yourself enough. Once you're able to feel that maturity in yourself and know that your timings are ready, you are ready for marriage. What most men mistakenly they also do is that most of us are waiting for a best opportunity to have some huge amount of money to do an extensive marriage ceremony and do a lot of program to invite family and friends in. But you see, the marriage itself is way beyond the celebration that we see. So wedding itself is a celebration. So if the person doesn't have that maturity level of understanding to know that I need to just take my wife to the altar for a blessing of a family and then a pastor and friends will have to come and witness to it, then the person is not ready for marriage because he would rather be putting the issues of celebration in terms of wedding in their heart. And before they realize they are getting too old, and then the right ladies that they have would have left them. You get it? Yeah. Yes. So in my case, what happened was that I had to discuss with my wife. Once we were matured enough, we were settled enough, the little amount of money we had to see our family members, we had to see our pastor, we had to see our counselors, and straight away we had it in. And so they shouldn't waste time. Once you see the right opportunity, just grab it, and then you are good to go.
What's your advice for your fellow women?
Okay, my advice to them is once they meet the person they love, or the person who talks about their future with them, the person they think it's okay for them, they should just accept. They shouldn't only look at the fiscal or the asset aspect, whether it's car, house, because it will come later. Once you guys come together, you guys will work together and make it up. Yeah, that's all.
Thank you for talking with us.